I can be doing the most mundane, simple things when suddenly, bam, the perfect idea just comes my way. So in this video, I'm going to take you on a journey. I'm going to take you through the process of how I come up with ideas for my listings, all the way through executing the idea and a design that people actually want to buy. And we're going to start, or maybe embark, on that journey right now. And we're going to start by diving into how to spot trends early so that you can incorporate them into your designs. This way, your designs will be on trend and they will be able to add value to the market. And well, here's the big secret. These are the types of designs that people actually want to buy. But first, I want to share this clip with you from an interview that Everbee did with Cassiy Johnson, a six-figure seller on Etsy.
But I do think that's actually kind of the beautiful thing about Etsy is that there's always new opportunity. You know, when I started 4 years ago, rainbows were like the biggest thing. My first bestseller badge was a rainbow with the word teacher under it. That was it. That was the whole design. You wouldn't get a bestseller badge with that today. That's just not what's popular. And so even as a new seller, if you can find the new trends that are popular right now and get those into the most popular niches people are buying for, there's always space and there's always going to be space and new opportunity.
What a beautiful sentence. There is space and there is always going to be space because there's always going to be that next new trend, which means every single design out there on Etsy can be updated with that next new trend. And so there will always be opportunity on Etsy. And so in today's video, I am going to give away 2 new and up and coming trends that you can go and apply to your designs today to help you be on trend and to help you add value to the market. I am also going to be showing you how to use Kittl to pull off this varsity letter trend that we're going to be chatting about today. And so here's the secret or the magic behind spotting trends so that you can incorporate them into your designs. Are you ready for this? This magical thing that I'm about to reveal? You simply go on to Etsy for 15 minutes every single day. You can search your product, such as shirts, or you could put shirts for women or shirts for men. You filter by bestsellers and you take a look at the bestsellers in these really broad topics for your product. And then you do this for the niches that you're interested in designing in. So I might do it again for teacher shirt and look at the bestsellers there, or for nurse shirt, or for bachelorette shirt. And for the first 1 or 2 months that you're doing this, you might feel like, well, boy, Shauna really led me in the wrong direction. This is a big fat waste of time. I keep seeing the same thing over and over again. But my friend, stick with it, because as you keep doing this for 15 minutes every single day, you will start to see new bestsellers pop up with a new twist or a new look to them. And that's when your little light bulb above your head should go off and you should be thinking, oh, I need to go apply this to a different niche than what I'm seeing it in. So I'll give you just a couple of quick examples before we jump into the trends that I've spotted for you in today's video. Over the summer, I spotted this Dalmatian letter trend. It had just got cooking up. And I talk all about that in this video here. I'll link it right here in the corner and down below in the description. It got cooking up in the teacher niche, but because I noticed it early, I was able to get sales in my friend's shop with designs. I talk all about that in this video using this new trend. And then I was also able to bring it to other niches. So we got a lot of sales in her shop in the teacher niche, but then I took it to other niches and I was able to make sales there because it wasn't there yet. No one was using it in some of these other niches. So in that example, I noticed a trend in the teacher niche and then brought it to other places, and also made sales in the teacher niche itself because I spotted it so early. Sometimes I spot a trend in the mom niche, but then I go use it in a different niche. Or I might spot a trend in the dad niche and I go use that in a different niche. So as I'm researching my niches, and then sometimes just the overall more broad topic of shirts, I discover these new things that start to pop up. And because I do this every day, I have developed over time this sixth sense. It's our extra sense, our extra spidey design sense. Now that I've revealed the magic behind this, I know what you're thinking. You're feeling like, geez, this isn't so magical at all, but I'm sorry. That's really what it is. That's all you got to do. You just got to look at Etsy and look at those bestsellers every day. And you have to do that for long enough until you start being knowledgeable enough to know, oh, I haven't seen this, so this is new and I can try this new thing out in my designs. It does take time to develop that sixth sense, that spidey design sense. So if you're not feeling super confident with your ability to do that and you're looking for a way to maybe fast track your success with this or your learning curve with it, you might consider joining the Learn and Earn community. It's an online community that I put together about 6 months ago. And I put together a really fun trend report every month where I share all the trends that I'm noticing popping up. And I also create some guided activities around this where I point out market research. I give you a guided activity where you're going to go produce a couple of designs and you come back and you look to see how I implemented that market research in a way that I believe will add value to the market. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, I'll leave the link down below. And we have a great community over there with a lot of people who have a lot of positive things to say about this. Dorothy here posted, am I dreaming? Someone pinch me. I just got an order for 43 shirts. I'm so excited, nervous, smiling ear to ear. I told my husband and he said, so we could pay off the mortgage now? So I came to the only place with friends who truly understand my excitement. This group is worth every cent and then some. Thank you, Simply Shauna. It was a design from one of your guided activities. Let's pray that there are no issues with production. Yay, Dorothy! Vicky said, I am definitely going to take action. I made a design according to the August trend report, and now I'm getting sales on that item. Thank you so much, Simply Shauna. And Tracy said, it's the most wonderful day of the month when Simply Shauna's trend report comes out. Can't wait to dive in. Thanks in advance for all your insight and encouragement. Let's jump in. So I've already done the market research. I go on every day and I look for at least 15 minutes in these different areas. And I'm going to show you some things that I found. I'm filming this during the month of December, so a lot of Christmas stuff is out. I've got Christmas crew here making memories together. So one of the things I'm noticing about this, and I've noticed this on many, many bestsellers, a large word in Varsity print. Sometimes there is a thunderbolt there. This Christmas specifically, I saw a lot of making memories together as being a phrase that was included in a lot of bestsellers. Here we have another word. It's in Varsity print. Now, the last design I showed you had a checkered element, and so does this one. The last one had a thunderbolt, and this one actually has the font itself as a checkered element. But do notice the Varsity print that is arched. Both of them, the word crew, the word mama, the word is arched. Here we have another Varsity font, and it's boy mama, and it's arched. And it looks like it was possibly niched down to a soccer mom because that looks like a soccer print there to me. I don't know what the SEO was on this, the title and the tags that they use to direct customers to that, but just from the design, I'm thinking it might have been a soccer one. Here we see another Varsity print. This one is outlined in cheetah, like a cheetah pattern. This is very new and upcoming, by the way. This isn't even one I was planning on revealing, but it kind of mixes together with the Varsity print. Anyways, it's the arched, it's Varsity, but specifically here I'm pointing out to you that there is black font inside of this cheetah print. Once again, we see another black font with a cheetah print outlining it. Again, totally a bonus trend for you. This is just kind of popped up in the mom niche. I think it's pretty ugly, but it doesn't matter what I think is ugly. It doesn't matter what you think is ugly. What matters is, do we want to make money on Etsy, and are we going to make designs that people want to buy? And if we're going to do that, we're going to notice these things and we're going to jump on them. We also have two other mamas here. This Christmassy one, once again, they brought in the checkered font. And I'm noticing there, earlier we saw the thunderbolt breaking up the word. Here we see a Christmas tree breaking up the word. Another interesting element here of breaking up this kind of 4-letter word with a thunderbolt or a graphic. Again, notice all of this Varsity font that is arched. Here we have a blue toile pattern, which is also very trendy. Again, pointing out here, Varsity font, arched. They've got the bow element, which is very coquette. If you're not familiar with the coquette style, very girly, lots of bows there. Another one here with this thunderbolt. We've got checkers. We've got a arched font. We've got an arched Varsity font. Here we have another Christmas crew design, arched Varsity font once again. Just a quick side note, you might have noticed just now I was showing you a font that's filled in with a sequence type of pattern. This is very trendy as well, this sequence type of pattern. I would be kind of careful with that, because if it kind of looks like there's real sequence on the shirt, you might get bad reviews on that. So you'd want to make sure that you had a listing card in your photos that said very clearly that it is not sequence, that is a printed design, and you might want to say that also in your description. If you chose to put something like that in your shop, the one I was just showing you, I wouldn't feel super comfortable with putting in my own shop. And here we have this glitter version. And again, I do use glitter elements in some of my designs, but something like this kind of looks like it would actually be glitter. So this would be something I'd be nervous to put in my shop. But we are pointing this out because, once again, we've got this Varsity font that is curved across the design here. And we continue to see this design selling popular as a PNG with another kind of spin, just a more plain spin. But again, we've got that Varsity font that's arched as one of the elements. So some things I really want to point out here to kind of say it in a nutshell. Some of the things we were really noticing here is a Varsity style font set in an arch shape. Some are solid, while others play with other trends, which include but are not limited to checkered fonts, sequenced fonts, glitter fonts, distressed fonts, blue toile fonts. Elements we were seeing that were being played with are bows and lightning bolts. This research was mainly done through mama shirts and Christmas shirts searches. These layouts and elements are already very prevalent in these niches, and so we are not interested in recreating these designs in these niches. We are interested in taking this layout and these observations somewhere else today. I am filming this during the month of December, so I am thinking about Black History Month coming up in February. But the design we're going to do today is not specifically Black History, and it's truly an evergreen design. It can sell really well during Black History Month, for graduations, for back to school, and can keep selling really well all year long. We are going to be doing our own version of this design today. If you do a search for this on Etsy, you will see lots of designs already out there, but most of them look pretty much the same. You will see the same 2 or 3 basic designs repeated over and over again for this. So let's jump into Kittl. Let's jazz this phrase up with the hot trending layouts we looked at today during our research from the mom and Christmas shirts. Here we are on Kittl, and I'm just going to pull my inspiration bestsellers or popular now listings out here to the side of my artboard. We've got a couple of listings. I added a couple as well for us to gain our inspiration from. So we're going to be using the market research from that top one there. We're going to use the color scheme and the phrase that they have written here. From Christmas Crew, we're going to be using this layout. And from this one here, notice that the first piece of SEO, in the most important spot there, it says Black Queen shirt. I'm going to use the word queen from this idea because a lot of these crew, the word that's the mama crew is all 4 letters. And I felt like the word like melanated or educated was a bit long. So I was looking for a shorter word to use. I'm going to use the word queen. And I thought this one here, if I needed some more colors, I could use one of those hearts. Now I'm going to go over to the left there. It said add headline, and that's how I got my text box. I like to just make it big so I can work with it easily, and I'm going to pull it to the top. I'm going to write the word queen, and this is the word we're going to put in that Varsity font, and it's going to be kind of the more prominent word on, within our design. I'm going to go over and choose my font. There are a couple of great fonts that you could choose. I'm going to use Alpha Slab 1. That is one of the fonts that I like. That is that Varsity style font. The next thing we're going to do is where I believe Kittl really shines. We're going to transform the text. So I'm going to go down to this transformation and we're going to use distort. Once you've clicked that, you'll see all these little points here. I'm going to move it up here. I have to click the A icon here in order to get all those little points back, these little circles. I can manipulate the design by pulling on these little circles. And in order to get that arched kind of look that all these bestsellers have, I'm going to pull down on the ends here. I do need a way to make sure that they are nice and even. There is a grid that we could turn on Kittl, but I'm going to go ahead and just quickly grab this little design or our little bestseller here over to the side. It'll give me a straight edge. And this way I can work with this just a little bit easier. Click the A again so I get my little dots on my text, and I can pull it down and just make sure that the Q and the N are pulled down to about the same place on each design so we can make sure it looks balanced and even. Once we're happy with the shape of our word, we can move on to the next part. But first, I'm just going to pull our little design here that we're getting our market research from back over to the side so we can kind of keep it in mind and it's out of the way. Next, I'm going to grab 4 more text boxes. We're going to do the words educated, motivated, elevated, and melanated. And we're going for a similar look to what we see under Christmas Crew with the text kind of going across down there. So once I have my 4 words, I am going to figure out kind of how I want to lay them out, and we'll play around a bit and pick the font we want. So after playing with this for a bit off camera, I have decided on Petunia 1. That's the font we're using. And so now I'm just going to go through and kind of play with this a little bit to see how I like it. I'm actually just retyping them. I just found it to be easier to retype them now that I have the font that I wanted. And now I'm just kind of moving around. I have this on fast forward, so of course I'm not this fast. It took me a while to actually play with this design. It's going to look like it took 1 minute when it really took like 20, but I'll spare you the whole 20 minutes. I think I'm going to pull melanated to the top here. It's longer, and I just feel like it kind of works there better. Now we're going to use this color scheme, and I'm going to make each of the words a different color. So I do that by highlighting the word or by clicking on the text box. Once I click on the text box over to the right, there's a spot there with color. I can click on it, and then I can use that little medicine dropper to just go in to the design and pull the color. So I used the 4 colors from that top design there since we're getting our color scheme from it. And I'm just kind of messing around with it. I want my design to look balanced and even. So I think I'm happy with this. The next thing I'm going to do is click on the artboard and press this little plus sign. It duplicated the artboard for me, so now I have 2 artboards. I'm going to work with the word queen over here because we want to change the color of each of the letters. So I copied and pasted the word queen over onto our new artboard. I'm going to change it to this color and download it. I'm going to do this for each color that I would like one of the letters in queen to be. When I download it, I make sure I only download artboard 2. If I don't go through the extra step of making sure I only download artboard 2, it's going to put both of those artboards in a little zip file. I'd like to avoid that. So again, right now, all I'm doing is changing each of the words queen. I'm going in and doing queen in each of 5 colors and downloading it. And each time I download it, right, I'm going into my little color palette here. I've changed it to another brown. And now I'm going to download it again. And remember to only download the second artboard. Otherwise, right here, I have little files. I would have zip files instead, which will be a pain in the next process. I'm clicking on the text again, changing the color, downloading only the second artboard. There we go. And I think I need one more color. So we're going to click it again, click on the color. We're going to click the little eyedropper. I want an additional color one we haven't worked with yet, so I'm going to choose one over here from one of our hearts. I think I want to go with this dark color. I'm going to download it. I'm going to make sure I only download the second artboard. That's the one with the word queen. Perfect. Now that I have all 5 colors that I would like the word queen to be, all I need to do is go back up and drag and drop each of our new files back onto our artboard. And real quick before I do that, I think I'll do one more color for queen. I'm going to pull this lighter heart here just to make sure I have some extra options. I'm not sure which color I want to go with. And I'll download this one as well. Now I'll quickly just drop them back over here on my artboard just so that they're back in the Kittl library for me, so I have them as images that I can use. This will all make sense in just a moment. I want to make each letter of the word queen a different color. And I want my word to be shaped like this. So this is how I need to go about making each letter a different color. When I select this PNG file, do you see that little eraser tool up there at the top? You won't get that if you're working with text. That's why I had to download them. Now I can go ahead and erase all of my letters except for the Q, and then I'll be able to place that on this queen that I kept up here as a guide. We can erase the word queen afterwards, but right now I'm leaving it as a guide. Notice I don't have an eraser tool up there because the word queen up there was actually a text box. So no eraser tool. I can't get to it. That's why we have to do it this way. So now with our image that we had downloaded though, it's no longer a text box, but it does have the eraser tool. So now I can pull that up here and I'm just going to kind of get it to match up on top. And now I'm basically going to do the same process for each of the letters. So I'm going to pick the next brown that I want to use. I'll just drag and drop it right over to my artboard. I'm going to go to the eraser tool and I'm going to erase everything except the letter U. And I can zoom in to make sure that, I don't accidentally nick the letter U. I can also adjust the size of my little circle, but probably easiest right now just to kind of zoom in. Yeah, I have a little piece I missed, so let's grab that eraser tool again and just fix that. Okay, now that I'm done, I'm going to drag the U right on top of my guide, and it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to erase that queen at the end, but this way we know we have it lined up right. Now we'll go ahead and grab the next one that we want to work with, the next color, and I'm just looking to see the order that I used over here on my design. That's what I was trying to go with. Yeah, I think I've got the right color. We're going to select it, go to eraser tool, and now we're going to erase everything except that middle E. You'll get really fast with this as you get your reps in. Like as you just get practice in, you'll get really quick at, doing this. So at first it'll feel cumbersome to remember which buttons to click and all that, but just know that after you've done it a number of times, you get faster. I can make my little circle larger here, my little eraser circle, by playing with that slider I was just using. And then I can erase this a bit quicker. I'm going to click the done button, and now I can go ahead and place this right on top of our E. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect because we will erase queen when we're done, so we don't have to worry about any of that kind of ivory color peeking out. But this does make it easier for us as far as having a guide. We're almost there. We have just 2 more colors to do. So we'll take this one and it'll be the same exact process. We'll select the PNG. We'll have our little erase icon. If you don't have an erase icon available to you, it is probably because you actually have a text box and not a PNG. So just keep that in mind if you get frustrated that you don't have that little erase tool. I've definitely done that and gotten mad that it wasn't working right, but it was just that I had a text box and not a PNG. So you have to download your text box so that you have it as a PNG. All right, we've got our next E here. I'll go ahead and line it up. And I'll finish us off on fast forward here. So we're going to place our E there, and then we're going to grab our last word queen, and we will make it that dark color this time and place it on top of our N. And now we have every single letter of the word queen alternating with a different shade of brown. Now that we have it the way we like it, we can download it. So make sure you have your remove background on and make sure you only get Artboard 2. Then I can just drag and drop it right onto my artboard. I'm going to resize it. I'm going to get it on top of our word queen up here, and I'll remove the word queen that's in black there behind. I'm using it as a guide right now. I can actually go into layers and just make this little eyeball here and turn it off. You can see I'm turning it on and off. Do you see kind of it's like a shadow and then no shadow? I'm just going to turn it off so that way it is not a visible piece of artwork in our design. All right, there we go. We're looking pretty good. We do want to add a couple more things to this though, because I really want to balance it out. I feel like we're kind of empty here on the sides. So because I do research all the time, I also know that 4-point retro stars are super trendy. So we're going to use them just to kind of fill in this space. And there's really nothing wrong with this design. If you're thinking, boy, I would list that. Yeah, so would I. I am just being a little, extra at the moment. But it is absolutely fine to list this design the way it is. There would be nothing wrong with it. I am going to add this 4-point star though. So I'm just kind of moving this around a little bit. And I think my guidelines are telling me one thing as far as balance and having it centered, but my eyeballs are telling me another. So I'm going to go kind of with my eyeballs here, just because of the length of the words. All right, so I'm going to go over to this little icon here to get some different elements. And I'm going to go here to ornaments. And I found these little retro stars right here. I like that little gathering of 3, but I think I want to be able to manipulate this better than that. So I want to change the color of each one. So I'm going to use this little retro star here. And I'm just going to sit here and play with these little stars. I'll kind of do this on fast forward so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But I'm going to play with these little stars and get us 3 on each side, each in a different skin tone color. Now I've gone ahead and downloaded the design and I'm uploading it to Printify so we could take a look. I'm going to use Comfort Colors today because Comfort Colors is a really popular shirt that sell on Etsy. So I'm going to go with Printify Choice on this. The only time I would suggest not going with Printify Choice, if you're trying to do like sleeve print on a sweatshirt, you need to make sure you pick a print provider that provides that. I'm going to choose 3 colors to take a peek at my design with. Ivory is going to be one of them. And I do my designs like this. I stretch them out. I put them toward the top of the box of my printable box here, and I stretch them out all the way from the left to the right. This is how I always do it, and I never get complaints. So you don't want to line your design up like in the middle of the shirt. A lot of newbies go down here, and they're thinking that this would fall really weird on the lady's chest. I put mine almost always right, like kind of right here, how I'm showing you. I know that can be kind of scary when you first get started. So if you are just first getting started, this is how I do it. And I've made tens of thousands of sales. And I never get complaints about the way it's laid on the shirt. I chose to do white, ivory, and pepper because pepper is a super popular color with comfort colors. And this way we could see our mock-ups. I do not suggest using these mock-ups, except maybe this one here, this folded one might be one of my support mock-ups, but I would not use these mock-ups in my listing, definitely not for my main listing image. It is fun to kind of see where the design sits. You could see on the models, kind of gives you an idea of where it sits. It makes you feel a little better about where you've mocked it up if you're new at this. But you really want to use beautiful mock-ups that are in the same trend and same style that other bestsellers are on. So just keep that in mind. Now that this is done, we're ready to go ahead and finish up this listing and publish it, of course, replacing these mock-ups with our nice ones. And I still have one more trend that I promised I was going to point out for you. But before I do, if you are finding value from this video, do me a favor, take a second, go down and boop the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this is the second video in a series of videos I'm doing like this, then don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. The next trend I also wanted to mention to you is this new trend that just recently popped up, or at least exploded on Etsy, and it's related to the coquette trend. It's kind of evolving, and it's these brush stroke patterns within letters and within shapes. So at Christmas, we saw this exploding. In the fall, we saw this exploding with pumpkins and with Christmas trees. And I know that this is going to be big for Valentine's Day. And in an effort to help you add value to the market, I've created a font that you can find a link to down below over in my Simply Shauna here PNG shop on Etsy. I made it specifically for Black History Month with the skin tone palette in mind. If you are a member, please don't go over and purchase that. It is included in the membership over in the classroom resources. And now we're going to jump into this topic more deeply by looking at how we added value to this nutcracker design. And you could do this to any design. This is very trendy. Stay away from the Christian niche with this one. It's already all over the place there, but you could take it into a lot of other places. So I hope you enjoy that one next. But of course, not until after that tip from Tucker. Tucker, take it away.